Jai Ram, Sita Ram, Jai 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 Jai Ram, Sita Ram,
Good evening and welcome to Satsang with John David, live from the Open Sky House. You can join the meeting tonight by Skype. The Skype address is Meeting John David. You can ask a question or just say hello. And if you like to spend more time in Satsang, the next opportunity will be from the 16th of August until the 1st of September. John David is holding a retreat in a very beautiful place in Spain, 3 minutes walk from the Mediterranean between Alicante and Valencia. And there are still 1 or 2 places left, so you can join in the last moment. And the next opportunity to go more into meditation would be in October, the Vipassana Island weekend from the 25th to the 27th of October. Information to both events you find on the website www.johndavidsatsang.international. And if you like to visit the Open Sky House, you're very welcome. You can come as a helper or as a guest. Information you find on the website openskyhouse.international. Thank you.
Welcome to satsang. We've got some special entertainment tonight. So we have some jokes. Bye-bye, girls. Bye-bye, girls. A Texan farmer goes to Australia for vacation. There he meets an Australian farmer and gets talking. The Australian shows off his big wheat field. And the Texan says, we have fields like that at least twice as big. Then they walk around and the Aussie shows off his herd of cattle. The Texan immediately says, we have longhorns that are at least twice as large as your cows. The conversation, meanwhile, almost died when the Texan sees a herd of kangaroos hopping through the field. He asks, and what are these? The Aussie asks with a surprised look, don't you have grasshoppers in Texas? Grasshoppers, you know. The police stop an old guy in questionable condition at 1 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing out so late, sir? Asks the police officer. I'm going to a seminar on the harmful effects of alcohol, replies the man. Are you pulling my leg or something, says the policeman. Who would hold a seminar like that at this hour? The man sighs, my wife. Two men meet in heaven. Well, what did you die of? One asks. I died of cold. I died from freezing. And you? The first one answers, I died from happiness. How could this happen? The other one asks. Well, since a longer time, I was worrying that my wife had an affair. The other day I came home early and I looked for him. In the bedroom, on the balcony, under the sofa, behind the curtains, but there wasn't anybody. I became so happy that I died from a heart attack. Oh no, said the other guy. If you'd only have looked in the fridge, we would both still be alive. I give you one more as we're playing a bit tonight. A farmer lived on a highway and the traffic built up very strongly. His chickens were being run over at the rate of 3 or 6 a day. So he called the sheriff's office and said, you've got to do something about these people driving so fast and killing my chickens. The next day, the sheriff puts a sign up saying, slow school crossing. 3 days later, the farmer again calls the sheriff and says, you've got to do something. The school sign doesn't help anything. Again, the sheriff puts the sign up saying, slow children at play. Sometime later, the farmer calls the sheriff again. This sign also doesn't work. Would it be all right if I put up my own sign? Some weeks later, the sheriff drove out to the farmer to have a look how he and his chickens were doing and to have a look at his sign. He saw a big sheet and written in yellow letters was slow nudist colony. So there you are. So we've been quite busy, or I've been quite busy. We've been in Ukraine for the last 3 weeks. In the beautiful nature where we have our retreat center and there's a hotel. And we had a very nice retreat. 2 weeks. Now I'm here to recharge my batteries. And then flying off to Spain to our other beautiful house with a beautiful garden, where we have another retreat. So I'm always on retreat in the summer, it seems. And we have a very nice group. We have, I think, 6 Spanish coming, maybe 8 from Germany, a couple of English. Actually, I think it's 5 or 6 Ukrainians, because they had such a good time for 2 weeks, they come for another 2 weeks. And as Radha was saying, if there's anybody who would like to join at the last minute, we have space for 1 or 2 more people. And we call it a holiday retreat, because we have this kind of meeting in the morning after meditation and yoga and some mantra singing. And then we have a wonderful lunch, and then you're free until later in the afternoon, and then we have some more meditation, and in the evening we play with theatre or see a film. We've got lots of really good Walt Disney films to show. So I don't really have anything to say, actually. Sometimes it's really a bit like that. It's more than just quiet. It's kind of blank and quiet, and the connection's not yet kind of leapt into contact. So if anybody likes to help me, that would be good. You can come and have a meeting with me. You can ask something where you're sitting. Or we could all just sit in silence, actually. That would also be okay. It's very interesting, actually, because in this retreat there was maybe 18 or 20 people, and over the 2 weeks, the energy of the group builds up. It's very beautiful to see how people, when they arrive, are not really very open. You can feel their hearts are a bit closed. You can feel their minds very, very busy with whatever. And then gradually over the 2 weeks, you can see how the people open up. And then people who are new, who haven't really meditated before, somehow, if they're interested, they can easily kind of come into this general group energy. And so we had one young woman who hasn't, I think, meditated very much, who suddenly had all kind of shakings, and she got a little glimpse of how it might be if her mind wasn't so busy. And then we had a family who I had known 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, the wife had some kind of opening, very beautiful opening. But the husband 5 years ago got a little bit afraid of that, because he thought he might lose his wife, because she suddenly was, with God, if you can say, not with him. And so I haven't seen them for 5 years, and now they have a new baby, and they came to see me. And they decided to stay in the retreat. And now they're coming to Spain. It's very lovely to see how you can reconnect, and maybe old things. I think he had some fear, maybe some jealousy. He plays the beautiful Japanese shakuhachi. So we're looking forward to the retreat having some beautiful music. Of course, our own guys are also going to provide beautiful music. So it's very unlikely I'm going to say anything interesting tonight. Just to warn you, in case you came hoping for something interesting. You can read my books. I've got so many books. It feels like if you want something interesting, you can read the books. This is just a kind of entertainment. Except for Kamala, we have to have serious talks. She's going to come and tell us how many times she's taken her driving test. She's one of the world record holders, actually. When the examiners see her now, they say, "What, you again? You're back so quick?" Oh, this driving thing is very funny, yeah? Because until you get the test, you can't drive. And then 10 minutes after you got your test, you're then like, I'm a driver. And then you can zoom off wherever you feel like, yeah? But anyway, I'm sure there's a good reason for that. It's nice I can see myself on the TV, like how I was 5 minutes ago. It's quite entertaining, really. I have to do this more often, I think. So I see we've got 12 people watching. Would you like to come through on Skype and ask me a question? Because it seems the guys sitting here, they're not interested in talking to me. But if you're watching from home, you can click on Skype and come through. What's the code? Meeting John David. You put Meeting John David in your Skype and you can come through and ask me a question. Or just say hello if you like. Maybe those guys down in Denver want to come through. We haven't seen you for quite a while.
Hello. Hello.
I think we met a month ago, yeah? Was it about a month ago?
That's
We had this very nice weekend together.
yes, that's right. And I hear your satsangs when I can't be here.
Ah, right.
And the last time you said something, what I don't regret. Agree with it.
You don't agree with something?
Not agree.
Very good. We have a fight now.
Let's fight. You said the love between two people is more like a disease. And that's not... I can't go with
Can't accept
this.
that.
Yeah, because it's right when there is this feeling of you are mine and I'm yours and without you I can't live. It's a disease, okay.
Right. Ah, okay.
But is love between people and love between child and parents, isn't it a feeling of that what can be in a true way in this love that is universal?
Yeah, I think what you said is true, you know, but I have to provoke people, you know. And so, as you rightly say, this kind of very possessive love, you know, which is perhaps rather common in the pop songs and romantic stories, ladies' magazines, TV, and Hollywood movies always end up with a scene, you know, they've been killing each other for 2 hours and then suddenly they're in the church, you know, and everybody's happy. And I mean, this kind of thing is a bit like a disease, I think, because unfortunately it gives people an idea, yeah. It gives them, especially in countries where maybe they're not so sophisticated, it gives them an idea if they can marry, their whole life will be happy, which we all know is not usually the case, unfortunately. But of course, if two people meet and they have a deep resonance together, then some other kind of love is possible, some other deep sharing is possible. I remember Osho had this idea of a couple on the bed, you know, and there would be a Buddha and the female Buddha sitting on the bed together. And then when it's really like that, when you're really connected already to your own essence, and you can find a partner who's connected to his or her essence, then of course when you come together, you're coming together in essence, basically. And then you're not really interested in possessing the other, because if you're really coming from your own essence, you're very much satisfied from inside. And if you're satisfied from inside, you don't really need something from another person, yeah? You don't need something from these beautiful flowers, you don't need something from those nice little girls. You just kind of nourished enough, yeah? We feel comfortable enough, we feel at home enough. And then if you're lucky to meet somebody where there's a kind of deeper meeting, then of course I think what you're saying is true, yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think this first love between people is this opening of heart.
Yeah.
But then the life came and something don't fit. And it's learning by this way to learn that this is not the right love. And you can look, you have found this love inside, because I think I don't find the love of the other people, of the other man or woman. I find the love of myself and project it to the other person. And when I found that this love is my love, then I can find the way inside to my love.
Right.
But when people don't, in the normal life, don't love anything.
I mean, what you're saying again is perfectly true, you know? But unfortunately, although the love is inside us, the other one is not giving us the love.
Yes.
But when we always meet Fred, you know, and every day when I meet Fred, I feel all this love, right? Mm-hmm. So then my mind tells me that Fred is loving me, because every time I see Fred, I feel this amazing love. Yeah? Yes. So of course, it must be coming from Fred. Yeah?
But sometimes it don't come from Fred.
It doesn't come from Fred.
Fred don't love me, and then I'm angry.
It doesn't come from Fred, because it's actually coming, we're connecting our own love inside.
Yes.
But because it's always happening when Fred passes by, we get the idea it must be coming from Fred, and then we say, Fred loves me.
Yes. And he must love me.
And he must love me, and he definitely shouldn't love anybody else, because that would not be at all okay.
Yes, and that's the easiest.
Then it gets quite complicated.
Yeah, but this friction, is it that brings person to look and to say it don't make me happy. This love don't make me happy. Perhaps I must do this once, twice, third, much time to other people. Then on one point there come this feeling, okay, it doesn't fit, and I must search another way.
Right.
I think
that's also true. I mean, if the person has some interest to know themselves, then with any luck they will come to that moment when they're not reaching out for Fred, but they're actually seeing that they've got it inside. Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe it's natural when you're young that you don't quite understand that, so you need to do a few love affairs in order to experience how Fred can change, and then he's not apparently loving you so much, but he's gone off and started loving Jane, you know, which is definitely not okay. No. So
not the right,
we have to kind of experience that, because,
Yes.
But yes, of course. I mean, if the people who are meeting are interested in their own understanding about themselves, they're interested in understanding how actually life is working, and if their partner's also interested in that, then of course it's a different kind of relationship, actually.
Yeah.
Different kind of relationship.
And sometimes it's in my own case that I'm the one is searching more and go outside and look.
Yeah.
And my partner is the understanding is there, But this going is not there. He had some
Right.
things.
Well, he's got two, I don't know if they're your dogs or his dogs, but you've got two amazing dogs, I remember.
Yes.
So he's probably walking the dogs and you go to the spiritual meetings.
Yes,
yeah?
and I bring it home,
And
the
then
light,
you bring
and for
the
the
books
family.
and the information home,
Yeah, you know.
and the dogs are happy too, so, you know.
Yes. He said, you go there, bring some light with
Right.
to me. I said, it's okay, I make it.
Yeah, well, this is also very nice, of course, but unfortunately there are some partners who are not so much encouraging their partner to go off and discover themselves.
Yeah. And that's it's difficult when you must fight at home for going here. Then you are not in silence or not in peace with yourself.
Right.
When your partner is not in peace with you.
Or with himself. Yeah.
With himself and
Yeah.
the
And then with you. Yeah.
The partnership is difficult. Yes.
But I could see your two dogs are very happy.
Yes.
So probably, you have quite a good relationship, because if the dogs are so happy, that would suggest the dog's parents are also happy.
Yes, I think it's much love in our family, and we all share this love,
Right.
and that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, then it's a different dimension of love, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my partner and me, we met 28 years ago, and we saw another, and there was this this connection from the first moment, and there was friction inside our partnership, but in the ground there was always this recognizing something in the other, what was connected. And it's more like a friendship.
Yeah, this is definitely the best. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely the best.
Yeah. And I think love is in everywhere is the way. And as more as I'm here and with these people and with you and with these teachings, I feel that this love expands in every direction to everything, and it makes me happy. This love makes me very happy, and it's a wonderful feeling. Thank you.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that there's a few couples with two nice dogs who are very, very happy.
Yes. Dogs make happy.
I was watching, I think it was this morning, I was coming back to the house in the car, and there was a woman struggling with 3 big dogs, And I was thinking, God, poor woman, every day she has to run after these 3 big dogs, So I've never really been a dog person, actually, I must admit. But I like your dogs. They seem very lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get on well together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, the black dog is from my husband. And then I say I want also
I
a dog.
want a dog, so
yeah.
I'll have that
so he
little
has
cute
this
one.
blonde one for me.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I always like cats, actually, because cats are pretty independent, So you don't have to take them for a walk. They'll go for their own walks. And then, if you welcome them, they're very open to be tickled and caressed, and they'll come and sit on you. And so they're very well-behaved cats, except when they get hungry, and then they go and turn up with a mouse or something hanging from their mouth.
Or a bird.
Or a bird, yeah. So that's not so nice, of course.
Yeah, but cats are independent, you say, and they came to you if they want.
Right.
That's we have cats before the dogs, 3 cats.
Yeah.
When we are both working. Yes.
Yeah, because cats can be left, they're
They
independent.
can be left at home, yes.
Yeah, during my kind of sexually active days, when I was much younger, I had a very nice cat, And this cat really liked lovemaking. So if I was making love, the cat would always come in and he'd turn his back to me or to us, and he'd sit there for a long, long time, being very content. And I think he kind of was getting the energy through his spine or something. Yeah? So he would always kind of turn around and give you his, you know.
Yeah.
Very interesting animals. Yeah. And then he used to bring mouses, and then he didn't actually kill them, you know. He'd bring them still wriggling, and then he'd put them on the floor, and then he'd tend to put them in a corner where they couldn't really get away, you know, and then he'd play with this mouse until some moment, I don't know what the moment was, and then not so nice.
Our cat bring a bird into the cellar, and then the next morning we found the feather in the whole room and the blood. It wasn't so nice.
Yeah, it puts you off cats a bit.
Yeah, but it's natural.
Right. Yeah.
If I can ask another question, I don't know.
Sure. I don't think anybody's going to ask questions tonight. I think they're all asleep, actually. We don't have to worry about them. You know. They just talk together and we just leave them. Yeah.
One of my problems that is in my brain is the human race is not good to the animals. The animals that they eat, perhaps. And my feeling to these animals and to this mitleid, compassion to these animals.
This whole kind of industrial thing.
Yes,
it's really disgusting what they do with chickens and cows and sheep, you know, the way they kill them, the way they cut them up. I mean, it's really...
It's terrible. And I know there is this love for everything, and in this love is this compassion, and it works inside of me. And a long time I can't handle it. To the day, then I have this book from Papaji, and at the book cover there is this nothing ever happens. And in this moment there was this feeling of it's okay, nothing happens. But when I see it, it happens. I can't bring it together.
All right. Well, of course, a lot of things apparently happen, yeah?
Yes.
I think he was also being provocative, yeah? Because this was actually a book in 3 volumes. Mm-hmm. So probably if nothing was really, really happening, then it could have been in 1 volume or even 2 pages or maybe only 1 page. Yeah.
Yeah. And Papaji also have in his youth, he make many politic fights. And
did he do that?
Yes, he was a very politic person.
I know he was in the army, of course.
Yes,
I know that.
yes.
Yeah.
And he goes on the streets and against the English.
Probably. Yeah, most people against the English.
Yeah, in this time, because the Indians...
I think the English deserved it, actually.
Yes. The Indians... he let it be, and he don't judge himself for his things in the youth, and he don't speak about how he handle this false things that people do. And I always search for an answer how to handle it, how to handle it for myself. And how, I'm myself, I'm vegan of this thing, but I'm also a human, and also as a human, I'm in this field of every human. Mm. Also, this human, they do something to the animals, and I can't handle very good with these feelings.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. I mean, in the end, you can really only take care of here, yeah?
Yes.
So you say you're not eating meat. And I can remember when I was younger, I mean, in our family, there wasn't really a question about eating meat. Everybody ate meat. And I can remember in my early spiritual life, when I wasn't very confident maybe about my kind of new ideas, something like that, yeah? I can remember how my mother would get mortally affected by me not eating her meat.
You will be ill.
She would be very unhappy about that. And of course, my father had all kind of ideas that, you know, those poor Indians, look at them, they're not really big and strong. Look how weak they are with all those vegetables, you know. So that was also not so easy. So I mean, I had a lot of pressure on me when I decided I would start not to eat meat. But amazingly, I never really got into any philosophy about it, but I never really did it. For years and years, I didn't eat any meat. Partly that I was living in India, which makes it much easier, because there everybody accepts that you don't eat meat. I mean, people do also eat meat there, especially the Muslim people. But it's pretty much accepted in India. You can be a vegetarian, nobody's going to make you look funny or something. But in England, in Europe probably, if you don't eat meat, you're somehow a strange person. You probably meditate as well if you don't eat meat, you know, one of those kind of strange people, you know, that sit with their eyes closed.
Yes.
I mean, now I think meditation has started to be pretty accepted. Even in big companies, they have some kind of wellness program maybe, and they encourage maybe meditation as a way of helping with stress and so on. But when I was starting meditation 50 years ago, I mean, it was like a wacky thing to do.
Yes. If you don't do things that all people do, then you are...
Yeah. So I've actually lived my whole life as a wacky person, you know, which actually wasn't such a big problem. But, you know, and maybe I can prove that you can live your whole life as a wacky person and you can survive, you know. But of course, it's not so easy when maybe your friends and people you love, like your family, they can't really make the change, yeah? And this actually creates some kind of separation, I think.
Yes. Yeah. But so everybody must follow his own heart.
Yeah.
That's
in a way, that's
important.
one of the crux of what we're teaching here, that you have to come to your own. Yeah? Be as you are, not be as somebody else wants you to be. But
Yes.
you know, that's what freedom is being as you are. Not necessarily meaning to eat meat and have relationships all the time, but you know, following your own guidance, you could say. You have a connection with the divine, and the divine kind of leads you through some kind of journey. If you can accept that, then it makes for a very relaxed, kind of surrendered life, actually.
Yes. That's right.
So are you coming for a swim down in Spain?
I can't come.
You work too much?
Yes, not so much holiday days, and
Okay.
but I come here whenever I can. And you say the guidance is inside.
Right.
I trust
Right.
that there's a way.
Good.
The way will come, and at the moment I don't want so much. I want to go and let it more, and don't want to be better, don't want to be anything more, to let it be and let it go. And, after this Vipassana, in this Vipassana, there came this moment. The whole time I think, there must come something, and there was a moment when I said, I must let fall. Then there is this inside is always there. When I let fall, this willing, this have this longing is more in the way.
Yeah, I haven't really offered that weekend for quite a long time. I used to offer it sometimes, but not for quite a long time. And we did 2 weekends, one after the other, and I was amazed how people got really a lot of benefit just from sitting for 2 days with a mask, and not moving off their island. And of course, some people went through certain intense moments, you could say, a bit struggling maybe. But somehow at the end of the weekend, it seemed like everybody had come to some clear seeing for themselves, because there was no real teaching going on. And so the people were individually coming to whatever they needed to come to.
Yes.
Yeah.
My feeling was when I come to this first moment to sit, there was so much inside of me. Will it be a strong time, and how will it be, and will it be boring, and all these things in my head. And in the back, looking back, I see this time was so silent that I can't find this force that is behind. And after this weekend, I had a feeling for this force. And I know how this force is feeling off. And this connection, I said in another speech of us, I must read so much to be connected, because I lost this connection. And after this weekend, I only need to think about this. It's not a feeling, it's more a state. And then this connection is always there. And this is something, it's a gift from this weekend. This is stable now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very beautiful gift, of course.
Yes, it's a very beautiful gift.
And also to see how easily we can forget something like that, which is so lovely, but still we allow other things maybe to get hooked on, and we forget, a little bit.
Yeah, it's more like this force is so still, and the life is so loud. And stillness is not where we're looking for. We always looked on the loud side.
Right, we're always looking for something. We're not looking for
For
nothing.
nothing, yes.
So nothing gets a bit lost in all the searching for something.
Yeah. But the nothing is always, it's a ground we are staying on. And it's there. It's never away. It's only we look into the wrong direction.
I mean, there's, of course, the famous case of Buddha, who was the prince of a king, and he finally, got out of the palace and started to contact what was happening in the society, that there was a lot of suffering and so on and so on. And then he started to do all kind of spiritual practices, and sometimes you can see statues where he had become very, very thin, kind of bony statues, because he'd been in a cave or something like this. So he really put a lot of effort, tremendous effort, for I think it was 12 years or 11 years. And then something happened, and he just sat down, supposedly under a tree, a Bodhi tree. Whether that was true, I don't know. But anyway, he's supposed to have sat down under a Bodhi tree and basically said, okay, that's it. And then he just sat there, and then, of course, something happened.
Yes.
So actually, that's a very strong example to challenge our idea that we have to do something, because he did something for 11 years and then he stopped doing something, and then he came to find himself.
Yes, it's this picture of yes, I think it's so. There was a moment in this Vipassana when I reached out and said, "Where are you? Where are you?" And suddenly at the same moment there came not a voice, but I'm always here. It came in the same moment as I asked it, and I sit there and wow, where comes this from? It was so wonderful.
Right, yeah.
And all these things in the week after this, they all came to my Bewusstsein, to my consciousness. What happens in these 2 days?
Right.
This was
Yeah.
so
Well,
much.
it was such a nice. We did 2 weekends, yeah, with 2 groups,
Yes.
and so now I'm going to offer it kind of to the public. I think we're doing it in Spain, are we, or also here?
It's here.
It's
It's here, is it? And also in Spain we're doing it. Yeah, yeah.
Just changed it.
Yeah. So we're going to do one here and one in Spain. Yeah. But unfortunately, if you come to Spain, you won't see the Mediterranean. But you'll spend the weekend, with a blindfold. So unfortunately, maybe, there's such an advantage to come to Spain for that. But if you're in Spain, if you live in Spain, then of course you could show up for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was quite touched myself how powerful the weekend was for almost everybody.
Yes. How powerful this thing, this vipassana is.
Yeah.
I don't thought that it was so powerful.
Yeah. And even for people who maybe aren't really comfortable to meditate, and maybe their bodies, they struggle a bit with their bodies and so on. It wasn't easy to sit and they're wriggling around. But somehow it really touched everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course the energy in the room became very strong, and that also made it easier actually, that the group energy, because we're sitting together in a fairly small space, and so this creates a very intense energy, and without realizing it, that gives a lot of support.
Yes. And this knowing that you have time. In the life there is an hour or under 1.5 hour, and then someone is calling, "Where are you? I want something to eat. Go with the dogs," and all these things happens, or you think you must do it. And here it was, I can sit as long as I want. It's a long time where no one calls me, and I can let go, and it's also a part of this this possibility of this weekend.
Yeah. Very good.
Very good. Thank you that I can do this.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to offering it to people I don't know, the public. Maybe some of you who actually have done one of those weekends, you could tell your friends about it, because I don't think anybody's offering Vipassana in quite that style. Normally Vipassana traditionally is sort of 10 days, and we're kind of compacting it into 2 days.
Yes.
But in a way more intensely, perhaps.
I looked in the internet and in Cologne and this around Cologne, there are some offers of Vipassana, but more this 4 hours and then walk and sit and eat and something like that.
Right.
Not this intense sitting. And if I could choose, I would do this thing more than this break. The life has so much breaks and changes, and this be in this and live in this is
because somehow by doing it as we're doing it, you get pushed really to the edge somehow, your edge. Everybody gets pushed maybe to a different edge, but the intensity and the support of the other people brings you to an edge where you maybe didn't think you would ever get to.
Yes, I think. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll put you on the publicity
Okay.
promotion.
I will tell everyone.
I can give you flyers.
We don't invite dogs, unfortunately, but
Oh, yes. They must go for a walk
they can,
every 3
They can go for a walk. Yeah, we can probably arrange
3
something.
hours.
Take
It's
them
not
for
so
a
good.
walk.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know your name, but would you like to come and have a chat? No, the guy behind you, actually. Because I've met you, Amrit, before. In fact, you were even in the Vipassana weekend, yeah. But this
English is not so good.
what?
His English is not so
Well, we can translate, yeah.
good. No, Amrit, you're talking to him as if he understands.
Ah, okay. Anyway, somebody can whisper in his ear. Yeah. Would you like to come? As you've made it the effort to get here, we don't want to let you go home thinking we only talk about dogs and children and. Yeah. You were probably hoping to come to a spiritual meeting, were you?
What do you mean?
You were hoping to come to a spiritual meeting, maybe?
No, I didn't have that many expectations.
Ah, okay, right. Well, it's a wet evening, so you probably just wanted to be in a warm, dry place.
Not just get to know your community, take a look at it. I just heard about it 2 weeks ago, so
really?
I was very interested. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And do you live somewhere around here?
Yes, I live near Düsseldorf.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
And I didn't even know about this, so I was very excited to hear that something like this is such close to my home. So,
Right. It's amazing because we've been here now, I don't know exactly 12 years, I think. Something like 12, 13 years.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But it's all right. You're probably very busy in Düsseldorf. There are lots of stuff to do in Düsseldorf.
Yeah, I'm fairly new to spirituality, so...
Right. Yeah, well, it's nice you took a step to come here. You're welcome to spend the day tomorrow if you want.
Oh.
We have a lot of carrots and any cutting, don't we?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would want to ask something, but I don't really have a question coming to my mind.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe I have to find some questions then.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're kind of a bit new to spirituality. So
Yes.
do you know what kind of what the catalyst is inside you?
That I am interested in it?
Yeah, why you
Yes.
would be interested to know there was this kind of community and come to a meeting here? And
I could like tell my story quickly if you want
sure.
to.
But
Yeah.
we have time actually. Maybe you can tell your story.
Maybe that's the best way, because otherwise so a few years ago, when I was 18 or something, I got into a crisis, I would say.
Right.
And I didn't have anything to do with my life. I didn't know what I wanted. I fell in love with a girl a few years before that, and I don't know, something in me was like so fixated on her. And then I finally got together with her, and she had to leave because she had like an exchange student program planned. And that was the time that I fell into a crisis, and I started reading books and, Eckhart Tolle and everything like that. And then I started to like know about meditation and sit down every day.
Right.
And this, so. And
Yeah,
then,
a lot of girlfriends have had that effect on people. Actually.
yeah.
We were just talking about, the possibilities when you come together with somebody.
Yeah.
And when they leave, of course, it's a very kind of strong moment for most of us, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I can really like, how would you say, identify with that, because I was so, I really thought that would be it.
Right,
like,
right. The rest of my life is going to be easy. Now I met the right girl, and the whole story can develop.
And it was the exact opposite. So and it wasn't even something wrong that I could tell. It was just like I got so disappointed in a way. I don't know.
Right.
And I'm still together with her, and I think probably this belief is still somewhere lurking. Maybe we just have to live together, and then I don't know.
Well, then you'll need to make a few babies as well.
Yeah, probably.
And then you need a car, and then you need a little house.
And it's like intellectually I seem to know it. I've heard people say this like a few hundred times probably, but somehow these impulses still come up.
But you can see whether this impulse comes from people maybe in your family. Maybe, I don't know how your family was, but maybe, you're growing up watching mummy and daddy being always in love in front of you, maybe. And
not at all.
Not at all.
Like, probably
the opposite.
they fought a lot.
They fought a lot.
I was actually quite relieved when they finally divorced.
Right, right.
At least that's what I remember. Maybe when I was very much younger,
Yeah.
it was different. I don't know.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Well, anyway, so you started to read Eckhart Tolle and you started to meditate, and did something happen actually? Did you get some sort of insight?
Well, the first thing happened was that well, it just became more and more important, I would say. And you know, there are always like a few experiences that also then went again. So I wouldn't say there's like an insight that stayed with me, maybe like a very, very slow process. And of course, I got a lot more open-minded to, you know, questioning. Like before that, I really had a very scientific, you know, picture of the world. But nowadays, I like really don't know that much. So yeah, and I also took a few psychedelics because you know, when you kind of get into, and those and those were very powerful experiences too.
Right, right.
And just the other week, actually, I was on a retreat with a German spiritual teacher, and before that, I was like, "Why am I doing this again?" And then the last day, I didn't even want to leave because I was just like, there was this intuition. That's what I want, you know.
Right. And what is it you want? Not the retreat, I think.
No, like, I don't know, just peace.
Peace.
Just not worrying about anything, not doubting so much. You know, am I doing the right thing? It's just like,
Right. If I do this, will peace come?
yeah. And it was very like, you know, there was this safe place just to be as you are, and it felt very good.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I mean, people have different ideas when they become on a spiritual journey. Yeah? They have some expectations, maybe.
Yeah.
But when you can see that, in a way, with nothing special, you feel very good, and it's not boring. It's just nothing much happening. But what's happening is what seems to be meant to happen. Then that's very, very beautiful, actually. And it's not something you could really sell, generally speaking, you know. But once you've touched that place inside where apparently without doing anything special, you actually feel very, very good, that's really a beautiful moment, because then you see the possibility that actually there's something inside us, you know, or maybe it's not inside, maybe it's around, we don't quite know whether we're inside it or it's inside us, we don't need to know, but if you're a scientist, maybe you can figure it out. Nobody's done that yet, actually, so that would be a good PhD thesis. But anyway, yeah, so when we suddenly kind of come to this point, maybe quite unexpectedly during a meditation, or could be even just walking through a supermarket, suddenly something happens. I mean, this is really a life-changing moment, yeah? Because you were saying you used to be a bit scientific or a bit rational, maybe.
Yes, I guess like most of people
Right.
that live here around, you know.
Right, right, right. And then when you've had this kind of beautiful moment, then you've got to start to question things, because if you really look about that beautiful moment, you can't really find what you did.
Yeah.
Didn't really do anything, actually. Maybe that's the secret, not to do anything.
Yeah, probably. But every time I try to, I fail.
Yeah, if you try to do nothing, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to, it's a bit subtle how to kind of tip yourself into this.
Yeah, I like, for me, it's most of the times when I get to a place where I just feel good and I don't even know why, or maybe that's not the right way to put it. But I seem to only surrender if I really like fail. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but you're probably not really failing, yeah? Only somehow in your judgments about life or judgments about yourself. You have some kind of, and then when you don't meet those judgments, then you can say you fail, but you don't really fail.
Maybe more like I struggle.
Struggle.
Maybe that's the better word.
Yeah.
Like I noticed this on the retreat where I was, that there were like 2 days where I had this intense struggle. I don't know, my mind was active and I don't even know. And then, you know, that seemed to be the only way that at one point I finally said like, it's enough, you know, and I actually felt quite good.
So this space of quite good must be inside you, yeah?
Yeah. It doesn't seem to be reached by struggling, but rather avoided.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has very nice eyes. Do you see his eyes? So you have the eyes of somebody who meditates, you see.
Oh.
Unless you were taking psychedelics in the last week, but
no,
probably
it's been a while. Borrowed them to a friend and never got them back.
Right. Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling me out. Otherwise, I would have stayed on my seat.
Okay. Well, now you know we're here. I mean, you can come and spend a daytime with us if you like.
Oh, thanks for the invitation. Yeah. I heard you have like this volunteer program.
Yeah, you can. That's for a whole week. You know, we ask people to come for a whole week because when you first come here, I mean, you can just come for a day and get to know some of the people and just be here in the energy. But if you want to go a bit more, then yes, if you come for a week, and then you find that you go kind of up and down in the week usually.
Yeah.
So there's great days and not so great days. But also maybe something more deep can happen because you're a bit more involved if you stay for a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will. Probably.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. Good. When I look at myself on the television, it's a bit funny because I look exactly like my father. The only difference is that for some reason I don't have, well, I have a little bit of grey hair, but I have a grey beard, but my hair's still quite dark, yeah? My poor old dad, he lost his, I think he was already silver haired when he was, 50 or something. But otherwise, yeah. Yeah. I seem to use my hands a lot. Yeah. Do I do that all the time? I should watch myself more often, I think. Yeah. So we have enough time for one more person. Is there anybody on Skype? Come on, you guys at home or on the internet. What about those nice guys over in Ukraine? You just spent 2 weeks with me. You must have something to share. They probably have technical problems, so they can't get through. Huh? I know what to. I only have to say something like that, and that provokes them. They don't want to. Come on, Shiva, come through and tell me all your crimes today. We had a kind of strong day together, actually. Maybe he's ready to surrender now. Probably not, actually. Takes a few days usually. They're online?
He's not online, no.
Oh, they're not online. Ah.
Normally it's green here, then when he's on.
Come on, Tripelia, let's see you. If they don't contact us, we'll contact them. Yeah. Ah. Maybe you've got some lights that you can put onto your face.
Yes.
You're all in shadow at the moment. You look like a gang of terrorists plotting your next...
Yes, 3 guys.
yeah. Particularly Shiva. He looks like the leader of the terrorists.
Your young student.
Ah, there's my most favorite young student. Is that Eva?
Yes.
Hello, Eva. Hello, how are you?
Хорошо, very good.
Yeah? Okay. Oh, there's Leela. Leela also very happy.
Лила тоже очень счастлива.
Yeah? You going to say something, Leela?
Скажи, что? Hi to everybody. Greetings.
Okay, very nice. And where's Gopal? Is he there?
No.
No? He's playing outside, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Eva, we're going to see you in Spain soon. I might have to give you a new name, I think.
Скоро в Испании, да, увидим? Мне придется тебе новое имя дать.
Okay, guys. Wow, very nice. Where are you? In the restaurant?
No, in SatTV.
Ah, okay, good. You got a big screen or on the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You got the sun in the room. That's very good. Okay. And how's the swimming going? Is that new steps working well? You've made some beautiful steps there now for swimming.
Yeah, we had a swim in the morning.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
nice.
Very good. Okay. Well, we're going to see some of you in Spain in a week, yeah? VJ's in the shadow there. I can't quite see him.
Говорит, что ты в тени.
Ah, there he is. There he is. Wow. Okay, well, nice to make contact. I can see you don't have any difficult questions for me.
У нас нет никаких сложных вопросов. Лила? Костя, Лила?
I don't think Leela's got any questions. She just giggles.
Да, думаю, Лилы нет, она просто улыбается.
It's pretty magic, huh, Eva, that we can talk like this?
Это волшебство, да, что мы можем так поговорить?
Yeah?
Волшебно?
And soon we'll be able to talk in Spain, yeah?
Скоро в Испании
Don't
поговорим.
forget your swimming costume.
Не забудь свой купальник.
Okay, thank you. Maybe we'll say goodbye.
See you soon.
Ciao. Oh, she's a lovely little girl. We used to know her when she was, I think, 3.5, maybe 4.
She's also dancing in the film, no? From Tokyo. It's the first film they made.
Is she? I don't.
Yeah, I think she's a little
Yeah. I think she was dancing, actually, maybe. Dancing with her mother, maybe, in one film, yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you remember when we started there, we had a kind of floating satsang boat, yeah. It was like a flat, yeah. That was, so we could actually, we could have satsang on this floating platform, I remember, yeah. Okay, thank you.